Welcome to Spicy Cat Colors. This is going to be a ride-along chat. Hopefully there's not too much driving type noise. I'm actually on day 6 of a road trip. If you follow my Instagram stories or Snapchat, FYI, I post the same on both of those when it comes to stories. So if you're on one and not the other, you're not missing anything. Anyway, I am finally on a road trip for fun. This is not a work trip. My work trips are done. And I thought, hey, I've been on the road since, this is, like I said, this is day 6. So I've really been taking my time to get to my destination, but we'll get to all that. This is probably a video for my seasoned friends. If you are a new friend and stumbled upon this, yes, I primarily do crafty, coloring, that kind of stuff. But this is just going to be a life update chatty video. That's why I'm like, seasoned friends, hello. New friends, you can probably learn a whole bunch about me and then decide if you want to watch me or not. So, that's what we're doing here today. I know the camera setup, video setup, I'm not sure how this is going to translate into YouTube. I am using my phone to video, so obviously, and I'm driving, so I can't make eye contact with you all the time, and this is probably not the best angle. Hopefully you're not going to catch any whiskers down there. And we all know it's not flattering to go up and see all the wiggle waggle, but you know what also? I'm real. I got wiggle waggle, so I'm not gonna, what am I gonna do? Anyway, so I'm in a rental vehicle, and I was able to use the, cell phone holder to hold my phone, but if I tried to turn it to be landscape, like YouTube ways, it falls down. Or the steering wheel is now blocking the camera. So, you know what? I thought I'm going to change it to this format and we're just going to roll with it. And if for some reason the video part does not capture at all, might just be a picture and you can listen to me talk. So this is probably, I have no idea how long it's going to be. There's like so much to catch up on, and I did not make notes, but I just finished an audiobook and I thought, hey, let's do a chat with my friends because I've got, I don't know, like 3 hours before I get to my destination. So anyway, hello friends. It is December 21st, Saturday, before Christmas, and I am en route to stay with some family, an aunt and uncle, for the holidays. So I have had a wonderful time driving down here. Typically, I would do this trip once a year. Pre-COVID, I would come down once a year because it is also where my grandmother lived. She passed away in the past year, 2 years. 2 years she passed away. And then I was scheduled, I had planned to go to visit for my 50th birthday, and that was right at the height of COVID. And so that didn't happen, and then I never got back there. So my once a year trip did not happen for the past 4 years. So I am so excited to get to go now. Although it won't be the same without having grandma there, but it's still fun. And the there is Florida. So you may recall I live in Minnesota, and they are currently having snow and cold. And yeah, it's a nice time to take a vacation to where there's not any snow. And it is like perfect. There's like a cold front for Florida today and tomorrow, I think. So I'm in the Panhandle right now, and it's like 47 degrees, and I'm absolutely loving it because I do not do well in heat, and especially humidity. And even though the temps are colder, my lungs have been feeling the humidity. So, and my hair. The longer I am in humidity, the bigger my hair gets. So there's that. So that's what I'm doing. And so normally, like, again, sidetrack, you guys know me. I would normally do this trip once a year, and I would it was a, how many hour trip? I don't remember how many total miles it is, but I would get it for sure in 3 days. Because I would just drive until I was so tired I had to sleep, because I usually did these by myself. Just because my schedule usually allowed the flexibility and Eddie couldn't get off as much work. So I would do these by myself, and then I would like find a place, I would pull over and sleep. Some of my seasoned friends, you already know these stories, and I would like sleep in a parking lot, at a gas station, a truck stop. People are like, oh my God, how did you do that? Well, there's safe ways to do these things, and I was too cheap to pay for hotels when I'm like, I just need like 6 hours of sleep and then I'm back on the road. I'm not going to pay $150 for a bed. So, and then I would wake up and I would drive again until I was so tired I needed to sleep until I would get there. So the difference, I guess, we'll just say since I hit 50, is and even when I would do those trips, what would happen is I would have to wake up and go to the pee-pee room in the middle of the night, because I am a woman of a certain age, I guess, and the bladder wants to like go visit its friend, the bathroom. So I would have to like wake up, get out of the car, which was usually because I'd have myself safely protected. So I had to like disengage all my tricks and my locks and find my keys and get my shoes on and like walk into the bathroom and then come back and try and go back to sleep. Anyway, it got to be a lot. So now I decided, you know what? You are old enough and you can afford it. You can get hotels. Actually, because of my work the past year and a half since I've been in this new job, I have accumulated so many hotel stay points that, yeah, I'm barely like touching, like using up any of them to stay along the way here. And the funny thing is, even when I'm using these points, I'm earning new points. I'm like, how are we going to use these up, Eddie? Maybe we'll take a real vacation. I know they will come in. We will use them at some point. But anyway, so I've been just kind of like going slow. I am the official grandma driver, or whatever you want to call me. I'll call me the grandma driver. I no longer like driving at night. I'm just uncomfortable. There's always wildlife. I do like, what I liked about driving at night is usually less traffic, but the route I'm taking this time actually hasn't had too many high traffic areas. I went a different route, so that's been fun. I actually stopped to visit. I have other family in Florida in a different area, and the route I would take would never route me through to them. So I intentionally did that this time, and I'm so happy I did. So yay! And I spent a night with them, I had a meal. It was really nice. My cousin, it's like I told her, I said, it's so nice to actually get to see each other and visit not at a funeral, because that seems to be at our age the only time. Both of us have lost our parents, so we had lots of reminiscing about our parents and childhood shenanigans. So there's two, they're sisters, both live there, so I got to see them both, and I surprised my one cousin. She had no idea I was coming. It was the best thing ever to see to see both of them. And I got to actually talk to and interact with my cousin's husband, who I had never met. I'm sure I've met him in person because he's been at funerals, but I never really, he was in the military when they got married, so it's like they got married and moved overseas, and then military people traveled around a lot, so we didn't get to see each other a lot as adults, but it was wonderful. We reconnected, and now I am on my way to my aunt and uncle's. So yeah, there's that. So what all do I have to tell you? So I'm probably, if you follow, I do have 2 YouTube channels. For those of you, a lot of you are probably seasoned friends that came over from the first one. I'm going to try and post I'm going to post probably a lot of the same content, but I'm going to film it differently. So I'm going to talk about coloring and mostly life update stuff, but just so, if you follow both channels or want to watch both, you can. You'll probably get some repeat, but sometimes when I do this type of chatty thing, I'll just upload the same video to both channels, but I'm not going to do that this time. So spicy cat colors. Let's talk about spicy cat colors. So I absolutely love our coloring community. You guys all know that. been missing everyone so much since I got my new job. So the new job happened in June 2023, and it was greatly needed. Again, people know what I went through. And I went through some rough times, especially the rest of 2023, trying to adapt, just like I'm like the new person. My old job, I'd been there like 19 years. Now suddenly I'm the new person and learning a new system, and it was a lot. It was very stressful. They went through, it was crazy. The person that hired me was let go, like 6 months later. The teammate I had joined with that I knew, he took a different position, still in the same company, and it was like suddenly in December, I'm only like 6 months into this job, I'm the veteran on the team for the project, and I don't know the system. So it was very stressful for me. Had some tears, had some mean people at some of the places, but just to recap, for if you didn't know, so that position, I was hired for a specific project. This company is a dairy products company primarily. They receive and process a lot of milk, and it is U.S. and Canadian. It's actually a Canadian-owned company, and they had expanded to the United States several years ago. And in system-wide, U.S. and Canada, they were adopting a new computer system. I'm not going to get into all the details on the acronyms, but it's like, previously there were probably like 10 different systems. Like accounting used a computer system, the quality team used a different system, customer service had a system, the shipping people had a system, and none of them talked to each other. So I don't know, it's kind of like if you look at like how Microsoft, you have a Word, you have Excel, you've got an email Outlook program, you've got PowerPoint. So, prior to those all talking to each other, being under the same umbrella, it's like if you didn't, like, I'm going to use the Apple version of spreadsheets, and then I'm going to use the Microsoft version of their word processing, and for some reason they won't talk to each other. That was a really poor comparison. Let's just say there was a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of work that went behind the scenes so that information could be shared, since the systems weren't connected. So they brought in this new system, which is perfect for what our company does and other companies do. It's actually the system I used in my old job. It's called SAP. I don't remember what it stands for, but it's like a newer version. So there's always new versions. So like I felt I was coming in with all this experience because I worked with the computer system and I worked in the supply chain, which is my neck of the woods that I kind of fell into. Trust me, people that knew me like high school, college, I would have never ever picked this, and no one would have ever imagined me in this field, this line of work. However, I have skills that can translate, I guess, to probably any industry. So I work primarily, at my old job, I was in the shipping and receiving department of a manufacturing food products, and I dealt with truck drivers, forklift people that are loading trucks, unloading trucks, all of that kind of stuff. So I kind of just say I switched from chickens, because that was egg processing, to cows. Because now, instead of what I was shipping there, now I'm dealing with cheese. In the U.S., we do mostly finished good. We do a lot of cheese. We do dried, like powdered milk, like protein type powders, that kind of a thing, is some of our primary. They also do like cream. They take the milk and process what they need out of it, and then they sell out bulk, whatever. You guys don't need to know all about the company. Basically, again, let's go back to the story, Kathy. So the company I came into, I did not have that much experience, it seemed, because the system was a completely different. It was SAP but it had, it was like an updated, specifically supply chain side was all new. So I had to learn it, and it was different. It took me a while in my old brain to quit doing things the way I wanted to and to learn the new way. And then I had not a lot of people to help me because my boss is gone. My friend, the guy who referred me for the job, he was still there, but now he had a different role. So it was very stressful. And it was uncomfortable. I spent a lot of time just being forced to do things I was not prepared or felt ready to do. But if I didn't do it, nobody else was going to do it. So I did later. The team had additional people brought in, and my company did hire out and hired a consultant group to help us. And they brought somebody in who was my boss for the past year, who had over 20 years experience in supply chain, and he had 7+ years in the specific program. So that was like an answer from the heavens, and he and I got along great. We vibed, although I'm like such a nervous Nelly. It's like the first time I met him was at one of my trips, a travel site where I had to do the training. So we would roll out, I don't know however you want to call it, we called it a go live implementation, this software system where you would literally have to like shut down the whole facility, like turn off the switches on all the old systems, and then behind the scenes a bunch of work is being done to like upload inventory, input all of that information from those old systems into the new one, turn the switch on, and then, you know, start business as usual again. So before we would do the go live, we would be on site. Usually it was 3 weeks before go live, and we'd have 2 weeks of training, end user training. So I, part of my job, had to teach everyone at these facilities how to use the new system. Again, this is me 6 months in. I don't even know how to use the system, but I'm trying to do training. That was so stressful and nerve-wracking because I was not comfortable, but again, there was nobody else that was stepping up to do it. It had to be done. And I actually learned so much because I was pushed outside my comfort zone. So that's my word of advice to any of you that get that, you know, put in a situation and you're super uncomfortable, don't think you can do it. Try. What's the worst thing? I'm always like, and I remember that because that'd be one of the things my mom, like, she'd make me ask my dad for permission to do something or if I wanted something. And I was always, I don't know why I was so scared of my dad. And it's funny because mom's like, he would have never said no to you. You were his, you know, pride and joy baby girl. And I'm like, I didn't know that. I just knew what it sounded like when he got mad. So, and she'd tell me, you know, if I was scared to do anything in life, or I was just like, because I didn't want to fail, I didn't want to be rejected. Got a lot of mental inside issues. They've been there the whole time. I just didn't recognize it at that time. We didn't know about depression, anxiety, those types of things back in the 70s and 80s when I was a kid. So she'd say, what's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst thing they can say? No. Really, that's the worst thing they can say is no, if you're asking for something. And does that change anything else in the world? No. Does it, you know, it doesn't stop me from, yeah, it's just like, it's no. So I'm like, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? You know, I don't know an answer. I'm honest, and I'm like, okay, you know, that's a great question, and let me take that offline and get back to you. You know, so I learned how to pivot pretty quickly, but it was stressful, and especially having my new boss there, but I did it. And you guys need to learn to push yourselves too. It's hard, but then look at me. I did these things, and what I really came out of this whole thing, so I came into this position expecting to be done right now. I knew the position or the project for the United States was going to be done at the end of December. Now, when I was hired, they told me our intention is to retain employees because now you have all this information. And there is a phase 2 of the project because our Canadian plants, there's more of them and they are a lot more specialized. They do a lot more products. And really all we were working on this first round was getting the cheese and powder systems transferred over. So there was that goal, but there was no promise. But because I pushed myself, and by doing like the trainings, and then I would stay on site, there would be, say we'd have 2 weeks of training, then there'd be 1 week of like the final prep for the cutover, inventory counts, that kind of stuff. And then we had what was the blackout, where everything flips, the switches were flipped off, and then we would have a go live. And there would be 4 weeks where there would be teams on site, and we called that hypercare, where we were on site helping the facility do the day-to-day work. And that was really where they got their training. I was like, I felt so bad because these people would sit through this training and we would be able to let them like log in and see the system on the computer, how they were going to utilize it. But it was really not really going to click much for them. And then it was like, it could be 2 weeks before they actually saw it in live. So nobody was ever expected to remember. So you got your real training once the flip was switched and we were live in the system. And it was hard. But I, again, pushed myself and offered and would stay that entire 4 weeks. A lot of the teams, they also had larger teams. So it wasn't like, I'm not a martyr or anything, but my team was not as well staffed as others. And I would push myself and volunteer to stay the entire 4 weeks and be on site, where others would go, like they'd be there a week, they'd go home for a week, and then they'd come back and forth. For me, I stayed, and I learned so much because of that. I shed tears and stress ate and did probably not healthy choices for some of that, but it actually forced me to learn the system, and not only learn it, but know how to troubleshoot and solve problems, and I guess prove my usefulness, because I received a job offer. Long story long, but I actually received a job offer and am staying with the company. So yay! So that's a stressor that is gone. I know I had mentioned that, and I was okay with whatever, because I accepted the fact when I took the position, and things were so bad at that other company that it was like, no, it was worth it, even if this was just 1.5 years to get experience. I know the industry, and what I was learning was there's other companies right now. In fact, my old company is now switching to this system, and I figured at least I was going to have experience and I would find something and just keep moving. So I do not have to find something. I was given a position on, this is so bad. This company, I mean, I love the company. It's a good company, but the way they name things, I don't know if it's nothing against my Canadian friends, if it's lost in translation from the French, or I think it's a lot more formal in Canada. Our headquarters is in Montreal, which is very much the French world of Canada. Anyway, even the job description that I was hired for originally, I would have never applied for that job because it did not make any sense to me and that I had anything to do with it. But just go figure. So my current position is basically doing a lot of what I'm already doing. So I'm pretty excited about that. I will be the United States person for the supply chain. Supply chain, if you're not, it's just what it is. It's like we're the people that store the products, like in warehousing. We're the ones that ship the products out, to the customers. We're the ones on the docks that are loading the trucks. We got people in the office doing the paperwork when things are delivered, our packaging, our ingredients, our chemicals. We're the ones receiving it and putting it into the system. That's supply chain. It's the people you see You see the trucks, semi-trucks driving, tankers driving on the road. Those are my people. Not specifically their drivers, but what they're doing, I'm involved in that side of things. So I will be the U.S. supply chain point of contact, which is a little scary because now I guess I'm the expert, which is not even close to what I am, but I'm the person they go to when they have problems. And then my boss is similar, but she's primarily Canada, although both she and I have agreed we're not like segregating, like you have to only help Canada and you only help. We will all be help. We actually work well together. She's someone I respect and work well with, and it was one of the reasons I was excited about the job offer when I found out she would be my boss. So that's good. So it's like her and I, and we are not part of this project for Canada. I know we'll still be pulled in it somewhat, but we are more the sustainability, the sustain. So all of the facilities that have gone live in this past 2 years, we are working with them on improving things. So yes, it's a brand new system, but it was like the bare bones system we put in. There is opportunity for a lot of improvements to be made, and to make it even better and more functional for the end users. And yeah, like I said, we were just getting everybody in the same sandbox, and now we can really build it. So I'm part of that team. So some of us call the sustain team, some were like the process improvement team. I don't know what to say. And there's a separate team that is going to be doing like what I did this past year, going to all these Canadian plants and doing the implementations and the trainings and all that. So this position, there will be some travel, I expect, but it will not be at all what I did before. Which, to be honest, it was kind of the joke of everybody at the company that I am the only person. They must think I hate my home life, because I absolutely loved the travel. You guys know I love a good road trip, and everywhere I went I drove because I do not like to fly. Actually, I have to take that back. I absolutely love flying. I love airports. I love all of that. But because I am a fat girl, and now the world is, everyone has a camera and is connected, and I have seen so many cruel things. I face enough of that in my life. I'm not putting myself out there and praying that I sit by somebody that doesn't care that I need to have the armrest. It's not worth it for me, anxiety, stress-wise, to deal with flying. And it's sad because I do enjoy that, and I love traveling, and there are just places you cannot drive to. So that's a Kathy choice. So I loved all the driving. I loved living in a hotel. I set it up, and it became like my home away from home. I had no problem with it. I mean, I'm pretty simple and basic, so I would do a grocery store order and stock my hotel room with easy to eat things. So it's not like I went out to eat every night. Yeah, it was nice. It was peaceful. So yeah, I loved it. So I will be still traveling, but it'll primarily just be like out to my U.S. plants if I'm doing some follow-up, or we have some, kind of bigger changes that I need to be on site for. But to be honest, most of the work I'll be doing, I can do it thanks to technology through the computer. I can set up a Teams meeting. Those of you that use Microsoft Teams know what I'm talking about, or like a Zoom meeting where I can present information and talk to people and see them face to face. So yeah, probably won't be doing a lot of travel, and I can work from home. I am still electing to, since I have a cubicle at one of the facilities that is very close to where I live. It's 20 miles, 25 miles from my house. So weather permitting, I say, because I live in Minnesota, I like to go into the office and work in my cubicle. For me personally, I have noticed within this company that a lot of the decisions are made by the business side, if that makes sense. We refer to things as the business side, meaning your office, corporate, type level your office people that are workers. And there seems to be a disconnect between that level and the actual people that are feet on the ground, like my front line, the plant. And intentions are all the best. We're all looking for the same goal, but sometimes I think the people up at this upper business office level forget, they look at a process and they see a solution and they forget to actually talk to the people that are doing the jobs. Does anyone else have this? Do they see this in their industry or where you work? That, decisions are made and no one ever talks to the people that it's going to affect. I've seen that in my old position as well. So I think I don't think it's meant in a negative way, but I figure if nothing else, my purpose on this team is to point people back and say, hey, yeah, this sounds like it could be a good solution. Let's talk to the people and see what they think, get their input. Especially, if it is, well, maybe there's things we aren't thinking of that we could be fixing at the same time. And so there's a lot of that, and I forget where I was going at. Oh yeah, so that's part of the reason why I like to go into the facility as well, is it keeps me connected with the plants. I mean, granted, I'm not at every single plant, and they all are set up a little different, have different nuances, but I just feel more connected, and I can see the day-to-day and how things are affected if something goes wrong. So we got that. How am I doing? Oh, I've only been talking half an hour. All you've heard me talk about is my job. So yes, I have a new job. I'm happy. And what I'm doing then, so the last position, or the last rollout ended, and I supported. It was funny because I'd been gone almost 8 full weeks for that one, because I volunteered and stayed an extra week just to help out, because it was U.S. Thanksgiving holidays and people were sick, so I stayed. And then, so my new position, they really don't plan anything. They're kind of big on like taking your holidays off to recharge and recoup, spend time with family. Again, these are business level people that can do this, because guess what? The cows don't quit making milk, so they're still making the cheese and shipping the cheese through holidays. But business level, no one's going to be working. So they encouraged us. So I'm like, okay. So I took this past week when I knew I had coverage. So my boss that I absolutely loved, his last day was Friday. He was just a contractor. They didn't ask him to stay to help with anything. Although I keep joking that don't block our number, because I said I'm giving us 4 to 6 months before you get called back in, just because we don't have someone with his knowledge and experience. So he was pretty much covering for me last week, so I could just take my time traveling. And then now I'm like, well, I can work remote and I can be logged in, which I have my computer. I'll be working all through the holidays, but I can do it from my aunt's lanai in Florida just as easy as I could from a cubicle in freezing snowy Minnesota, which they are currently. It was good weather when I left on Monday, and now it's like, no, I checked with my husband and there's snow. It's like -2 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's like I don't even like to tell him what it's like where I'm at, because it's not like that. So yeah, I'm like, she's like, well, how long are you gonna stay? And I'm like, through the holidays for sure. I rented the car for a month. We'll just say there's not a big rush to get back. So there's that, which is fun and exciting. Yeah, otherwise, this past year and a half has totally just been work for me. Didn't do much. Eddie and I had a couple weekends where we did little excursions, did little adventures, which was fun. He came when I was in Idaho. One of the facilities was in Idaho, so I, of course, drove out there. And then when it was time to come back, he took a plane, flew out to where I was at. And then we had like a day or two together. And then he helped me drive back. And by help, meaning he did all the driving, because that was a very, very stressful implementation for me. And I was like, yeah, on the ledge. So he did all the driving and just let me decompress, which was nice. And he may do that with his Florida trip yet. We still haven't booked a flight yet. Kind of waiting to see. He's got some medical stuff back and forth, and we'll see if he's able to get the time off with his appointments and what's not. But yeah, he might fly down here and then we'll drive back. The only downside about that is because he does have limited time off. It's like he would fly in and like Thursday, and we'd have to start driving back Friday because we'd have to be back Sunday. So it definitely would not be my nice leisurely drive on the way down. But we have time to figure that out. And if he's unable to and I drive back on my own, again, there's no rush. We can go nice and slow. We, meaning me and all of my stuff. Because I'm really digging this 2024 Chrysler Pacifica minivan. I'm definitely a minivan person, and the type of minivan I currently have, they no longer make. So it's always like, oh, what am I going to get when Charlie officially retires? And so far, she's holding strong. She does just fine. Take a little sip of my Dunkin' Donuts cold brew. But, yeah, we'll see what happens there. Eddie and I are doing well, much better. We definitely had a rough patch. I was very unsure of what was going to happen with us 2 years ago at this time. I honestly didn't actually see us still together, to be honest. So I'm still not sure what quite happened. I just kind of wrote it off that he had a early midlife crisis or something and was making really poor choices. But we were able to work through everything and are doing great, doing well. Just had in October was our 19th wedding anniversary, so that's a good thing, because that was also adding, between all the work stress I was going through and then had personal life stress, and they both overlapped because Eddie and I worked together at the old position. So it was, I'm not going to get into the details of everything that happened. Let's just say that things are good now. And most exciting, I kind of hinted, but I don't really share a lot on social media because, again, seasoned friends may or may not know, I gotta answer Eddie's call. Okay, I'm back. You didn't even notice, or maybe you did, because I said I have to hang up. Eddie called me. So it actually stopped, and now I don't know. I was on a half hour, so we'll see how much longer I talk. Where was I even talking? Oh, so I was going to tell you the other fun, exciting news. So yeah, I don't share a lot of, well, I share a lot, you guys know that, but some of my personal life, just say there's some estranged relationships with relatives, and so yeah, and I've faced a lot of online attacks and bullying from some of those people that should know better as adults and as what people would call family. But I have also learned that I think I'm part of the majority of people who realize people's true colors in their family after certain events. So anyway, there's some things I just don't share on social media. But I will share with you guys because I don't even care if they watch, because I already know they know. But I am a grandma. and Eddie is a grandpa. So some of you are like, how did that happen, Kathy? You don't have any kids. You say you don't have any kids, you have cats. Now granted, if we had a cat, which again, rewind, my dear Emma, who was pregnant and she actually died during childbirth with her babies, which was a cat, by the way, we would call them our grandchildren if we had cats with babies. But no, we have a human, beautiful baby grandson. Longtime season friends have heard me mention, because this part is not a secret to me, I just have never, talked about it at length, but I do have a son. I was pregnant, obviously, to have a child, but I was in college and became pregnant, had a child, and placed him for adoption. So, I mean, again, that could be a whole long time chat, but it was like back in the days, early 90s. I don't think we really had what we call date rape or any of that kind of stuff, but it doesn't matter how it came about. I became pregnant with a child, and the sperm donor wanted nothing to do with my problem, and I was my second year of college. Anyway, I have a mother's heart, and it has broken my heart to not be a mother. And at that time, although every fiber of my being wanted to raise my child, I also knew that I couldn't provide for him the way that he deserved. And this is nothing, this is I think why I don't talk about it, because I think people may misinterpret what I mean. And I have the utmost respect for single parents, and we all make our choices with the best information we have at the time. And I am not shaming I utmost respect a single parent. And I'm not also saying that I couldn't have done it, because I could have, and my child would have been loved and raised. But there are challenges that can be faced. And at that time, I was a college kid. I was turned 21 while I was pregnant, and it didn't matter to me that I didn't have the father. It was, I did not feel I was in a position to give my child everything they needed, and I did not feel it was my family's responsibility. Although again, my family more than offered to help me, and I wanted my son to have, I made a choice. I don't have to defend my choice to my friends out here. Season friends, you know my heart, and you know that the choice I made, why I made it. It was not for me. In fact, even when I talk about this, it makes me cry, because I realize everything that I also released when I placed him in his mom's arms. But God has heard my cries. He's heard all the things. And while I did not get to raise my son, He has brought him into my life. And my son, we have been in contact since he turned 18. It's a delicate relationship, meaning I'm the one that has the issues and am so nervous and anxious and scared of screwing it up. But he has done nothing but love me and welcome me. And he and his wife had a child. And they very much want Eddie and I to be part of this child's life. So, I am a grandma. And even that makes me want to cry, because at 21 years old, I had to work through and accept all the potential outcomes of my choice. And I accepted those. I mean, before he was born, I had to, at 21 years old, I thought, oh, well, yeah, I'm going to meet someone, and we're going to get married, and we're going to have a family, and, hopefully I'll eventually have a relationship with this child. But I also had to accept the fact that I may not find someone, and I may not have the opportunity. You don't need to have a partner to have a child, but later in life, I may not be able to for whatever circumstances. I don't know what the future holds. And I had to accept and mourn the loss of my possible motherhood, to be a mother. And that is something I've greatly missed in my life. And God has filled my heart and my life with amazing nieces and nephews. And by that, I mean primarily my best friend's kids all call me Auntie Kathy, and they are a very strong part of my life. And I've just been blessed. And I know I have family, but it's not the same. Okay, those of you that maybe have been in a similar situation as me, whether you are a birth parent or whether you were unable to become a parent for whatever reasons, I think you get it. So the fact that now at 54 years old, God has blessed me to be a grandma. And I never thought that would ever be something. I mean, throughout my whole life, as things didn't happen. I didn't meet someone until I was in my 30s, is where Eddie and I got married. We were unable to have children, looked at the potential of adopting, fostering, circumstances kept stopping us along that way, and it didn't happen. Then I had cancer, uterine cancer, had to have all the pieces and parts pulled out that would biologically let me be a mother. And along the way, you just continue to mourn that loss. So I don't know, it's one of those things, you grow up, and I think as women, we just know inherently in our hearts if motherhood is for us or not. I have friends, I know people that they know that's not their heart's call. That's not a desire God has put into their heart and soul. And I love and respect them that they recognize that. There's, it's our bodies, it's our lives. And as women, that's a choice you can make. If you no, I know I do not want to be a mom. Doesn't mean I can't or I'm not capable or anything like that. It's a choice, and if that's something is not for you, it's okay. For me, I grew up, and that's something I wanted. I mean, I was blessed with loving parents, and I knew that I would love to have that relationship and be a mother. And then it just wasn't in God's plan, I guess. So the fact that in a different way, sometimes God answers our prayers and not the way we see them or want them or expect them, but in the way He does. So I am still a mother, and I am now a grandmother. So, sorry. I don't know why. It's probably one of the reasons I don't talk about it a lot here, because I will always get emotional and start to cry, and I'm driving right now, and I probably should not do that. But you got seasoned friends. Again, if you're still here, you're very much a seasoned friend. I think I said, I hope you're not watching me on whatever. I hope you're listening to me while you're doing something else. Maybe I don't know when I'll get this posted. As I say, maybe you're wrapping gifts, but maybe by the time this posts, you'll be taking down your decorations if you are decorated for Christmas. Look, it's been so long, I've switched drinks. But, so that's been exciting. That's my life. So those are the life updates. should we get back to actually coloring and crafting in YouTube? Duh. So, again, seasoned friends, you've noticed I've been MIA on YouTube posting videos, and you knew why. It was the job, and with all the travel and stuff, I tried to at least post a plans video every month. I was able to do a couple hit and miss videos, but I really do intend to get back on the bandwagon. I still have ideas and things I want to do from like over a year and a half ago, and I never got to do. I've never been able to do a collections video. I very much want to share like how I do Disney coloring. I know a lot of other of my coloring friends have done that. We like to do the Disney mystery coloring pages, and we all kind of do it a little differently. I want to continue to share like my card making. I make it very clear on my videos what it is, so I always tell people, if it's something you're not interested in, you don't have to watch it. You know, that's why I title it and I put things in playlists, because for me, this is kind of my crafting channel, and yes, it's called Spicy Cat Colors because that's my primary. But if I'm doing other crafts, I want to share it. So I want to do some more card making. Because of my job, well, not because of it, but my job allowed me all those times in hotel rooms. Diamond painting became my go-to. I would bring coloring with me on these trips, but I quickly learned that the lighting situation in most hotel rooms was not advantageous to my old eyeballs and coloring. So I would have difficulty seeing, especially like color by number, because I would bring color by number books with me. So I could, I've said it before, the reason I do color by number a lot is the process and the de-stressing. I don't have to think, the decisions are made for me on what colors to use. But I couldn't see the numbers in the poor lighting. So I had started bringing diamond painting, and I bought a light pad, I guess they call it. And that made diamond painting perfect. I mean, I would have to sit at a desk, which is fine, and I could turn the light pad on. It was just flat, and it was easy. It didn't take up a lot of space. It was easy to pack. And so then it lights up from underneath, so I could see the numbers for the color by number diamond painting. And I found that just as relaxing. So I did a lot of diamond painting. A lot. And I hopefully in July, no, let's do it before July, Kathy. Hopefully in January I can do, once I'm home, I want to show you, because I've still been doing my my monthly buddy colors. So I do my Spicy Cat Buddies and my Spicy Cat Disney. Thank you to all of you who have participated. And I've still been journaling and documenting all of your pages and whatever I've done throughout the month in my coloring journal, and I want to share that with you. I didn't set any real hard goals for myself for 2024 because I knew with the travel, but I did pretty good. I still said I didn't like put a goal for like my 10 books to finish. I did, and again, I never shared any of this because I didn't get a chance, but I did do like my 10 to focus, and I want to share that with all of you, sorry. And show you that journal. I think because I didn't do as much coloring, I might use that journal for 2025 as well. I think there's enough space, so I gotta get creative on how to do that. But I have a diamond painting journal. Again, you guys know, I always say squirrel, but I always envision it more like if you, like pinball. Like my brain works like a pinball machine, and you know how the ball bounces. Do even people know what pinball machines are? Do they still have those anymore? Youngins, do you know what the pinball machine is? Well, I see how my brain is like, okay, now I got to go over here. So, I have a diamond painting journal. So I don't think I would do and I know I watch diamond painting people, I watch diamond painting channels, and I don't think I will be able to like pull out everything I've completed and show you. Maybe not. We're going to bank on it, yes or no. But we shall see what happens. And sorry, it's like a very strange thing going on there. as you get as I drive. But I can show you through the journal, because I have completed, I don't even know how many this year, kits. A lot. Not as many as I've bought, but I have completed a lot. So I will share all of that with you guys. So in 2025, I fully intend to get back onto regular filming. Now for me, regular, I never set a schedule, because for me, YouTube, posting videos, that is a hobby in itself, similar to my coloring, my crafting. I work full-time. My channel, my social media is not a business for me. So I don't stress myself out by thinking, oh, I need to post this many videos, or anything like that. I don't. I just, when you get one from me. Is how it goes. I am planning to continue my buddy colors, my group buddy colors. That really worked well for me. I am not sure yet how individual buddy colors, how much I'll be able to do this year, but I am still going to do those group buddy colors, so I hope you look forward to that. I think I'm going to switch it. Well, I'm still going to do Spicy Cat Disney, and I'm going to just keep using the wheel, the picker wheel, because there are still a lot of movies on there that have not been chosen. So we'll just continue to do that until the wheel is consumed, I guess. And then Spicy Cat Buddies, I think I'm going to switch it up. I am going to keep it Camellia Angel Cova focused, but I'm not going to change the hashtag or anything like that. I will keep it Camellia, but I'm going to try, I have a couple different ideas, so you'll have to wait and see how that is. But as usual, both of those group buddy colors, if you do not have Disney or you do not have the Camellia book, I give you an alternate prompt, because for me, the buddy color with La Chucuchi, I'm in all these fun Florida towns. Actually, this whole trip has been like the Chattahoochee River. I don't think that's the right thing. I've been driving all the places that I've heard in the country songs. Let me just say that. So there's, it's kind of interesting. Oh, I'm entering Citrus County. It's been fun. Sorry, sidetracked. But I just want people to be able to color along with me. So again, it doesn't have to be specifically the same page or anything. There's always an alternate prompt. Because again, buddy coloring should be all about the friendships and the community, more so to me than the end product. Not that I don't take pride and try to, do good work when I do buddy colors, but it's the community. It's the buddy part of the buddy color to me that I find important. So we're going to be doing that. And other than that, I'm making no promises, other than I'm going to try and have more videos. But what they will be, I don't know. Like I said, I've got a bunch of ideas that I've been wanting to do and just never done them. Does it mean that will happen in 2025? Will I finally do a collection video? I don't know. I don't know what my life has for me in store. Whenever I think my life is going to be nice and calm and boring, something happens. And that will probably still happen. Eddie has some personal medical issues that we are doctoring and working on, and that at some point, is it going to be this year is going to be a big thing, or it could be till next year? We really don't know. It all depends on him. Not even him, his body. So there's that. So that's why I make no promises, and why I've learned to just accept and celebrate each day as it is. It's truly a gift. So we'll see what happens. Oh, stone crabs. Somebody had stone crabs and their citrus. All the little roadside stands. Things you do not see in Minnesota in December. But, yeah. So I hope that's a good thing, that you can expect to see me a little bit more. What else? I don't know. I have been watching, but not everybody, so I do apologize to my fellow creators who are also friends. I have tried to keep an eye on you a little bit, but I will never be able to catch up on all the videos I've missed or all the posts. I've been on like Instagram, where I at least try to scroll and see what you've been working on. But yeah, I just know it's not going to happen for, I can't even talk anymore. I think I've been talking too long. Is that such a thing for me? Yeah, it's been tough. And I know some of you have had really challenging have had a challenging year, sorry. And please just know you've been in my thoughts and prayers. Actually, everybody, because you know what? With all the time I've been on the road, I've spent a lot of those miles and hours in prayer and reflection and with a grateful heart for all of you. So I know you probably haven't seen me or heard me, give you the You Matter update. But I hope that at some point, if you were having a rough day, suddenly you just, I don't know, maybe you felt a little zing, or you saw something that made you smile, or maybe you actually had an actual rainbow pop up in front of you. I hope you felt the love, because I have certainly been keeping you in my thoughts, in my prayers, and uplifting you, and just because I know, God knows, and He is taking care of you. But I just want to tell you that I have been thinking about you and praying that your lives continue to improve in the areas that may need improvement. So I think I will let you go. Those were the main things, which was basically life update. And when I watch this back, I'll probably be like, oh my God, Kathy, you are such a rambler. Well, I already knew that. And I'll probably think of 20 other things I didn't tell you. But, I mean, there's like stories for days of things that happened on these trips, these work adventures, but some of them I can't share, or I mean, I just won't, because of not even company policy, but there's just things that I don't need to share that are specific to my company. But maybe they'll get peppered in throughout future videos. So, my friends, I want to tell you this. And first, I also want to preface, because one of my friends who has been a longtime friend on YouTube, she's doing Vlogmas, and I've been watching her, and she made a comment, and I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought of it this way. And I didn't take it personal. She ends her videos with a little catchphrase and a comment, and it's really cute, and I like it. And she had referenced once about, she watched somebody, and I don't think it was me, because she references as a him, but how he would like end his videos by saying "You matter," and it actually, I don't know if it offended her, irritated her would probably be the better thing, because she's like, you don't know me, you know my life and what I've gone through, and you can't. And I thought, you know what, you are right, and I respect that. I'm not going to change how I end my videos, though, because of all of the conversations I've had with so many of my friends here, and what you've told me about how that has helped you and meant to you. But I do want to acknowledge the fact that when I tell people they matter, and I sometimes be cheesy or whatever I'm saying, I mean it in no disrespect. And you're right, I do not know what each and every one of you have gone through. I do not know what you have had to overcome in your life, what you have personally faced, what you may currently be facing. And if in any way, by me saying that you matter and giving what I try to be an inspirational, uplifting little close, if that is not for you, please click off as soon as I get to there. Because I never want to assume anything, and I do not want to make anyone feel less than or irritated or annoyed or any of the things, because you're right, I don't know. Some of you I do. Eddie's calling me again, and I'm trying to be heartfelt. Okay. Hopefully, Eddie is done calling me. he was out doing some last minute shopping and had to continually call me. Anyway, so where was I? Oh, so bottom line, I just want you to know, I sincerely do mean that you matter. And in the way I say it is not to be trite or disregard what you personally are dealing with or have gone through. It's, to me, because I am wanting you to understand it's because of those things that, to me, prove you really do matter, because you have survived what you have survived. You have gone through things I cannot even imagine, and you're still here. And that when we're facing challenges and difficulties like that, we may not always feel that way, and we certainly may not have people that are telling us that we matter and we're making a difference. So that's why I say it. Again, like I said, my friend, I'm not gonna say the name, but we're good. I wasn't offended when I saw her say that in her vlog, because it actually opened my eyes to be like, oh my gosh, I never thought of it that way, and I hope that people that watch my videos don't take it the wrong way, because that's not what I intend. No. I have struggled, again, you guys, seasoned friends, you've heard this. I have struggled, and I continue to struggle with low self-esteem. And while I was raised very much in a family where I knew I was loved, I had parents that were supportive and loving, but as a child, facing what I didn't know was depression, anxiety, the things that I now as an adult know, and I know how to cope with. At that time, I didn't know how to cope with it, and I questioned, because society treated me like I didn't matter, if that makes sense. I know my own struggles, and if I had had a positive force that was really helped me instill and believe that I mattered. I don't know. I get too deep and I don't make sense, and it's nice to just be reminded, because for me, I feel we are all doing the best we can with the skills, the tools, the knowledge we have, and sometimes we're missing a few tools in the toolbox, and the decisions we make, the situations we get ourselves in are not the best, and it's not that we did it intentionally, it just happens. But we just keep moving forward, and we do what we can. So just know at whatever spot in that journey you are, if you're in a learning phase, if you are looking back on something you have survived, and it could be literally survived, give yourself the credit and have the faith to know you are stronger than you ever could think you are, and you can do it, because you do matter. You need to matter to yourself, and that is where I struggle with, is accepting my own worth and acknowledging that. So, my friends, on this eve, it's not even the eve of Christmas, but it is the Christmas season. I very much am a woman of faith, and it has certain meaning to me. And in general, I think it is a season where Hallmark and advertising, marketing, everyone tries to make it seem like it's all happy and candy canes and gingerbread kisses and loving and all this goodwill towards men bullshit. I want you to know that is probably not the reality in 99% of the homes of the closed doors as you drive down the street. Hopefully, I like to have hope that there is a snippet of that happens inside each of those homes during this season. But we all know most likely the reality is arguments and greed or like, because there is not enough money, there's like strife and there's hunger and there's empty stockings and all the things. It's not what is portrayed in social media for sure. And whatever your personal situation is your personal situation. And it's okay. Do not compare it to what you're seeing as you're scrolling through all the things. Let's be a little more real. And that's why you get me the way I am. Ooh, there's a bear habitat the next 12 miles. You get me being a pinball machine, bouncing around between being serious and going, ooh, there's a bear habitat. So my friends, I'm going to let you go because this is most likely over an hour. I hope you enjoyed my rambles. Thank you for keeping me company. I am now only like 50 miles away from my destination. And it's been a lot of fun chatting with you. So I love you guys. And I do promise you will see more of me in 2025. What the more of me is, I do not know yet. But I will definitely be much more, have a looser schedule to be able to film and edit videos. So I love you guys, and I hope to see you again real soon. Bye.